Okay, so I'm going to start with Shankari. So you probably are a bit pressed for time, seeing that you're in the canteen.
It's okay. I got some time off and they know that I'm
Okay, so you okay? You're not that pressed for time. I think I picked up because it breaks up quite a lot. Okay. Okay, so Shangari, if you've got maybe turn off your video, that might help. Because sometimes it would improve the sound. Can you talk now and see if that works?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, it
Can
sounds
you hear me?
yes, yes, it sounds much better without the video.
Okay.
All right. So, as I mentioned, it's informal, the session. So I'll start off with Madeline. Madeline, have you got any questions around the exams itself?
Not really, to be honest. I kind of came along because I had the afternoon off of work and figured if anyone else had questions, it's a benefit to learn from what they
Yeah,
might have thought if that I haven't. Um, but yeah, nothing specific
much.
from my
Yeah.
end.
So you've done 4502, and
Yeah,
5108 already. Yeah,
yes.
so the format is similar to what you would have experienced in 5108. So it's the same length of exam. The duration of the exam is 100 minutes, and the marks will be 80 minutes. And there's two sections to the exam. So there's a section which has got, I think, mostly MCQs, short answer questions, and there might be, I can't remember because we've set now a few exams. There might be some matching questions as well. And
Yeah,
then we've got scenario questions, but all of the images in the exam will be available on the image manipulation software. And the details for the software will be on the second page of the exam. So you'll first log on to the Moodle quiz. And once you're in on the second page, there will be a link, and then the username and password will be there for you to log in. So all of the images you can then manipulate. So though the exam is 100 minutes long and the exam is only 80 marks, it's actually to give you more time to be able to use the software. Otherwise, it means it's 1 mark per minute, and that's a little bit short. And then as before, the exam will be available from 8 in the morning till 8 in the evening. So you can start the exam anytime, but what I will do, I'll be sending out again an emails to ask for your expected start time, and that's just for me to be able to be at the computer in case you have any issues during the exam itself. So that you can contact me. So the number that I give is directed to my mobile phone. So you can call that number. It's much easier to call me because then my phone will ring and I don't always see the emails when it pops up. So if you've got any issues in terms of lag with internet or internet dropping off, please call me. So that I can assist you with that. And sometimes you might struggle to actually get onto the exam for some reason or other. Please feel free to call me. Now, although I'm asking for expected start times, so if you say you're going to start at 9 in the morning, it doesn't mean you can't start before or after that. It's just so that I have a ballpark figure of when you're going to do the exam. Hi, Helena. So Helena just talking the same type of lingo we talked about last night. So yeah, so I will send you the Moodle quiz password for you to log into the exam itself. But as I said, the software details will be in the exam itself. Okay. And then, so for this one, basically it covers all of the weeks that we've taught you, apart from the week where you had the submission of the ISAP case of the CAP report, because there was no new materials there as well. And then I would encourage you to undertake the formative test too. I've given the feedback because it does help you in terms of the types of questions. But remember, you've also got formative test 1 as well. to review question types. And then I think in some of the Moodle books, we gave you little exercises as well, practice banks. So that would be quite useful. Tony, have you got anything else you want to add there?
I think it's really important for you guys to make sure you use the image manipulation software, because the images are embedded in the questions, but you can't change those images in the questions. You can only manipulate them in the image manipulation software, hence the name, I guess. And you won't be able, you want to be able to change the window and level so that you can actually make it more contrasty or maybe less contrasty so that you can see soft tissues or what have you. And also be able to zoom in and just be able to look at, smaller fractures or
because
other possible
some of them are
pathology.
quite subtle, and if you don't use the software, you might miss out on some of the pathology. So you really need to zoom in into the images to see if there's any changes there.
Yeah, and each of the images in the image manipulation software is numbered with the same number as the questions, so that you'll be able to match up the question that you're working on with the actual image in the software.
Yeah, so it will be MCQ1 or scenario 1 or SAQ for short answer questions. So yeah, because not all of the questions have got images. So you should be able on the left-hand side to open up and see which questions you want to manipulate on.
Yeah. And I guess the other thing that we talked about last night, so Helena will remember that, just have both your exam material and the image manipulation software, open both of them, and just have the image manipulation software in the background so that you can flick between the two. Oh, it's all right. Madeline's just turned her video off. I just saw something happened and
Yeah, and then
yeah, just be able to read the exam question and answer it, obviously on the exam page, but the image manipulation software, you can go across to that and have a look at the image and zoom in or whatever you might want to do, and then go back and answer the question on the Moodle page, the exam page. Is that okay?
and then and remember, once you start the exam, you have to finish it. So there's only one opportunity to start. And then also ensure that you leave yourself enough time so that if you start late in the evening, that you will be done before 8 o'clock, because the exam will automatically shut down at 8 p.m. Sorry. It's very windy here by us. In Victoria, we have major warnings. So yeah. Yeah, and so that's basically about the exam itself. I think, Tony, you also mentioned last night that some of the readings that you might not have gone over, so there might be questions coming out of the reading materials as well. We don't expect you to go and study an article that we've given, but to go through the main points of the article and just keep it in the background of your mind, because there could be questions coming from those.
Yep. That's a good thought, Imelda. I can't remember whether there are actually any questions out of there. Well, yeah, I think there are actually. So, yeah, I won't say which article, but I know that there are questions out of the article. And, when you're describing fractures and also other pathologies as well, fractures and dislocations, I guess, mostly, don't forget those classifications that you've been given. And you won't forget the ones that were involved in the ISAP case, of course, for the ankle. But they're very helpful in being able to structure your answer and remind you about what you've got to say, what you've got to refer to in making your comment. Obviously, you've got to do it quite concisely, but it's a guide. You know, those classifications are a guide as to where to look on the image or pathologies, and also it's a way to actually answer the questions, you know, use those as a guide to the way that you structure your answer. Yeah. Are you okay, Shangari? Can you hear us? She's going to probably type an answer. So
Yeah, I think she's still on.
Shangari is just having trouble with her video.
Yeah, but hopefully she can hear us well.
Nothing yet.
Yeah, nothing there.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Oh, good. Oh, you are there.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, but without the video sound much better. So maybe you can just jump in whenever you want to.
Oh.
So I'll just go around and then just double check first before we go on to talking about the portfolio. So Madeline, have you got any other questions that you might want to ask about the exam itself? Okay. So I think it's really important that because you've got the date of the exam, to make sure that you get time off for the exam and also some extra time from your work, because it's quite a long exam. You know, 100 minutes to sit for an exam is quite long, just to get you in the right frame of mind. So even if you can take half a day off, you know, that will be quite useful. So Helena, what about you? I think we sort of yesterday last night we probably tapped you out with all of the questions. So you okay?
Yeah, I'm going fine. At the moment, basically all my questions from last night were pretty much answered, and they're translatable to this course as well. So yeah, all good.
Good. Thanks for joining. Although you know there's a lot of crossover between the two in terms not of content but the way that everything will be structured.
No, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thanks. And Shankari, you with the exam, do you have any other questions?
No, not really that I can think of. I tried the full formative test, the
Okay.
1 and 2. So I will just keep practicing a few.
All right.
And you were saying that the exam format is similar to the formative?
Yeah, it's very similar to and gives you just a mirror into what you can expect in the final exam. It's just that it's a long exam. It covers a lot of material as well. Yeah. Okay. But if any one of you might come up, you know, even with the images that we've given you and you've got questions, you can really feel free to contact us if you've got any questions about any of the cases, even if it's cases with your clinical portfolio as well. So Shankari, while I have you on with your clinical portfolio for this unit, we did talk about 5108 last night. With 5109, are you okay with all the body regions?
I think getting the body regions is not a problem because we do a diverse range of X-rays, so I can pretty much get those included. Yeah, but I am still getting my images.
Okay.
No, you've still got how long?
They've still got about,
not
because
due
it's the
until
last,
the 19th.
yeah, it's the last
Yeah.
week. Yeah, so it's almost 4 weeks from now. Yeah, that they have to do it. And remember, for the clinical portfolio, go to week 1, I think, where I made available the clinical portfolio. So there's a Moodle book with all the information on. So use that when you write up your clinical portfolio. So there's a lot of info there. But also if you have any issues with if you have a case that you struggle to maybe work out your auditing about the case, whether it's true positive or false positive, you're not sure how to fraction the image, the case, you can always contact us. And then with the clinical portfolio, and I think all of you now are quite aware of how to do it. Just remember each case when you worked out your sense, your true positive and false positive and so on, can only be equal to 1. So if you have 25 cases, the bottom row, so when you add up everything, your false positive, false negative, true positive, and true negative, that should be equal to 25 then, if you've got 25 cases. And just something else to mention, I haven't said it before, if you have got a case that has got 2 body regions, so say, for example, if you have a shoulder and a humerus, write it up as 2 different cases. It's much more easier for you to work it that way. Although the clinical details will be the same, it's much more easier for you to rather write it up as 2 cases. I've seen in the past how students struggle then to decide if the one is normal and the other one is abnormal. How do I actually get it to 1? So yeah, much better to write it up as 2 cases. And then just to mention, the exam itself falls now into the formal exam period of the university. So I can't give you your marks for the exam. You will get your results when the results are released by the university. And if you've got any questions after that about your marks or anything, you can always contact us. But the clinical portfolio, those marks, once I've marked it, I will release those marks and the feedback to you on the clinical portfolio. It's just on the exam itself that I can't give you marks. So that is a rule that the university have with the final exams, because when we get to the Board of Examiners, they might look at the overall results and say, have some questions around the marking or whatever, just in case there's need for any changes. And we seldom do it. We never do it actually, but they just want to make sure that you haven't received results that might change, even if it's by 1% or something. So that's why I can't release the marks for the final exams. Okay, so Madeleine, in terms of your clinical portfolio, are you all right now with the this unit?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty good with this one. That's not too bad.
Okay, and thoracic spine, you get enough from? Enough cases?
Well, I've got 1 T-spine and 1 L-spine.
Okay.
But they're included. So
okay.
Yeah.
Just remember, you don't
It's
have to
difficult,
be.
isn't it? Because pretty much thoracic and lumbar and cervical spine all go through the CT now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of ours are like post-trauma, and then erect ones are to assess stability of the fractures and already known about sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I managed to sift through many months and find something that's actually workable, I suppose.
Okay, yeah, so you can go to retrospective cases even if you haven't x-rayed the patient yourself. But to be honest to yourself, don't look at the radiologist's report. First write up your PIE, and once you've done that, then compare to the radiologist's report, but you can use retrospective cases.
Yeah, no, that's why I didn't use any of the stability ones, because they're already like, oh, fracture of TA, that blah blah blah. And I'm like, it's a bit hard.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Okay,
so you'll be all right with that, eh? And
Yes, thank
then Shangari, what about you with the portfolio?
Yeah, so I'm trying to get the cases that I'm doing, because when I try to access cases that has already been done and it is reported, the report just comes right up. So
Okay, so you
I
might need
try-
to ignore the
yeah.
report, okay? Close your
Yeah.
eyes.
So
Yeah,
I try not to use those
Bit
and just
tricky.
do the ones that are
yeah. And
so
then,
yeah.
so you'll be okay.
But yeah, I'll be fine. I'm already that's halfway mark of collecting my grade.
Yeah.
Thoracic spine is a bit tricky. I I could get one or two, but it doesn't come every day.
Yeah, but you also
Not
don't
every
need to
week.
have an equal spread between the body regions. You know, if you've only have one or two, that should be fine. But then also don't forget you need to have normals as well. All right, so don't just write up pathology. I just want to say with the clinical portfolio, the turnaround time for marking is very tight. So that's why we keep it to the last week, but the Board of Examiners is the week thereafter. So if anyone wants an extension for the portfolio, it makes it really difficult. So I think the maximum extension would be 2 days, a short extension. If there's anything longer than that, it will mean that your mark might not be done by the time the board examiners take place. So I just want to give a heads up, you know, try to ensure that you get your clinical portfolios in on time. Simply because of the short turnaround time that I have to mark everything and to get it ready for the Board of Examiners. I think I've got basically 4 or 5 days to finish everything for all of the portfolios. All right. And anything else, Shangari?
Nothing
No.
from me.
And
No.
okay, Helena, what about you? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I've already compiled the cases that I like to put into my portfolio. I've started a couple of cases already. It's just I want to focus on the exam before moving on to the portfolio first. So it's in process, in other words.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why we've actually set the exams in the first week. So
Mm.
it gives you the second week to work on your portfolio. So there's at least you'll have more time to finalize your portfolio. So it's good that you have your cases and maybe just do one or two just so that you can get into the swing of things, you
Yeah.
know, of how to write it up. That's really helpful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, Tony, anything else? Because I don't think I've got anything to add. What I will do is I will post the recording under real time of this week. So if you want to go back and look over anything, and then also remember if any questions come up that you have, please feel free to email us. As you know, we're not shy if we get any questions from you. We actually appreciate it. Some questions can be challenging to answer, but we try our best.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have anything else,
Okay.
Imelda. Yeah, but that's good. Good luck.
All right. So if there's no questions about the exam or the portfolio, I just want to say thank you to the three of you for coming up because we can't post a recording if there's no students. So we really do appreciate when the students rock up. But I also want to mention also about this SETU. You would have noticed that on if you go onto Moodle on the which is my left-hand side, you will see there's a drop-down menu where your units that you have will come up, and SETU only takes 5 to 10 minutes at the most. But it really does help us, you know, if there's anything that students mention. So there's the quantitative, but the qualitative comments are also really very useful for us. If there's anything that you think that might improve it or the way that we run it, we really do appreciate that feedback. Normally the response rate is very poor for the postgrad stuff, but we can trust the three of you, seeing that you're here to complete SETU. So please don't forget about that. If you've got 5 or 10 minutes to spare, we would really appreciate it. All right. Okay. So I'm going to say goodbye to you and then all the best as you prepare yourselves for the exam and the clinical portfolios. So all the best going forward.
Okay.
All
Thanks,
right.
Imelda.
Okay.
Bye,
Thanks, Tony.
everyone.
Thank
Oh,
you. Bye.
okay.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.